Welcome to the Late Night Show with your host, Chichi Stylxz. And today we're talking about investing in Africa. Now, on the red carpet at the African Oscars, we were with Ben Bruce, the media mogul. This guy has done big things, from Silverbird Studios to an actual Silverbird Studios location, right in the center of everything that's happening, media and entertainment. So we're happy to talk to him. Here's our interview with him on the red carpet at the African Oscars. TV, we're spotlighting you is exciting. This moment, we're spotlighting Ben Bruce, the owner, right? Silverbird Studios, big deal, big deal, big deal. I'm so excited. Please, Ben, tell us, why is tonight so important for Africans, for Nigerians, for Nollywood, Gollywood? Why is tonight so important in Beverly Hills?
Well, the balance of power is shifting from America to Africa. And the shift is creating jobs, creating wealth, creating entrepreneurs, movie stars, musicians, athletes across Africa. It is a wave that is important to us because of a level of poverty and misery. It gives young kids the opportunity to become successful. It gives us the chance to compete with the rest of the world. The greatest movie stars in America today are Africans. And the only one who is not African is married to a Nigerian, Kerry Washington. I myself have invested in a studio here at Konogo Park. I have a facility here, and we're going to start producing movies and TV shows. And I think with what is happening and the job creation that'll come to Africa and wealth, it is important beyond this event. This event is important to honor those who are successful. But beyond that, you're looking at millions of jobs and millions of dollars and billions of dollars. And I think that's what's important. Africa is recognized as a continent with poverty and misery. And to change that image, the movie stars and artists and athletes who sing, dance, jump, run to become successful is as important as having good governance. So democracy in Africa over the last 20 years is important. Entrepreneurship and wealth creation is just as important. And all of that combined together makes us the beautiful bride in a new frontier. I believe in my heart we're here to stay, and I believe the future is bright, and I think today is an example of the greatness of our people.
Well, this is so exciting. That's perfect. That's well said. Couldn't say it better. I'm inspired by this guy. Like, if I want to be the next media mogul, what do I have to do? Spend some more time with a guy like this. It's just so exciting to see someone who's passionate about young people, who's passionate about Africa, and who's bringing, it's not so much about just taking money home. We also have to be the best we can be here, so we as Africans can invest in the country that we're at. It's not just enough to say, I'm African, we're talking about home. What are you doing here to make your Africa look good? That's what I like about Ben Bruce and his reply to some of my questions there is, he's talking about how to bring some of that here and make it work here, make it beautiful to be a part of what's going on here and also a part of what's going on there. And also a part of what's going on there. Up next, we have a beautiful student, Miss Obayan, all the way from Cornell, will be talking to us about Africa. She has a passion and love for Africa and cultural things, and she will tell us a little bit about her thoughts on changing and investing in Africa. We'll be right back after these messages.
Right outside with my guitar in my hands, and the notes became loud as the sound caressed the air, and I kicked it up a notch as I strolled without a care, 'cause I'm going down
we're spotlighting you is exciting. I'm your host, Chichi Stylxz, and today with me is the one and only Akindele Akinyemi. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. It's an honor. This man is shaking up Michigan for Africans, and we are really happy to have you. I'm very excited about interviewing him. When I started my show and I was listing the people that I wanted to interview, he was on my list. So him and his team, I mean, they're amazing. I mean, we'll bring you more, but we want to start with you introducing yourself and telling people who you are, what you do.
Well, again, my name is Akindele Akinyemi. I'm a 16-year veteran in education. Been in education for a long time now. I help people open schools and write proposals for schools and have administrative and educational experience and things of that nature. But more importantly, my passion right now is I'm one of the co-directors of the National African Business Association. We're based in Inkster, Michigan, 10 miles west of Detroit. And our focus is to support African-based businesses with business planning and helping them understand their true goals and their true destiny.
That's amazing. Well said. So tell us, how important is NABA today in the community for the Michigan area? And I know you guys are specifically in Inkster, but we'll get to that. How important is it for NABA to be doing what they're doing right now?
It's very important because one of the things that we identified early on was the lack of a business association presence. Oftentimes you have organizations like the Michigan Black Chamber of Commerce, you have other business associations, but they're not really focused on investing in a particular area, a particular city, in a particular demographic where they can bring investors and developers in to create their own reality. So the National African Business Association, we started this journey about a year ago with my other co-director, Rariona Make, and two other people. We started actually on the phone, and at the time I was still living in Houston, and we would have these conference calls every week. And we started putting a plan together of what this organization will look like. So there are three things that we focus on in NABA. We focus on business and economic development. We focus also on public policy, and we focus on global education. And so those three elements right there are critical for Africans because Africans are engaged in education, of course. They're engaged in setting up their own businesses, and they're engaged in they're not engaged. This is a big one. They're not engaged in public policy like they're supposed to be.
No.
So we decided to take the public policy issues, and we create our own public policy to address those issues, whether it's in Lansing or Capitol Hill, on behalf of Africans nationally.
So why Inkster? Some people have asked, you know, why of all the places? Detroit, Lansing, why Inkster?
Inkster is 6 square miles, 25,000 residents. It's 5 minutes from Detroit Metropolitan Airport, 15 minutes from Willow Run Airport, 10 miles west of Detroit. And so, you know, Inkster is that box in western Wayne County. And I wanted to tell your audience that we're not just focused on Inkster, but we represent western Wayne County. We understand there are Africans that live in Romulus, in Garden City, Westland, Canton, places west. So we represent those Africans and their businesses and their interests and their families as well. But Inkster, we're trying to make is that capital for Africans in western Wayne County. And the reason for that is because we understand that Inkster have a lot of problems. Recently you heard about the police brutality issues in Inkster. You heard
saw that this morning on Fox.
Saw that
by the way he was on.
You have the lack of economic development in Inkster. You have the lack of businesses in Inkster. Property values are low in Inkster right now. And so we meet, Rary and I, we meet with the mayor on a regular basis. And the mayor has this is very important. The mayor has explicitly said to both of us, we need Africans to come in to invest in the city of Inkster.
Right.
Africans. He didn't mention nothing about Arabs or even dealing with so much with African Americans, but he understands Africans bring investment, they bring dollars and cents,
right.
They bring education into the city of Inkster. They bring a different type of synergy into the city of Inkster. You yourself, who was a Nollywood producer, we're looking at setting up what is called a culture arts district. And that culture arts district, hey, like in Nollywood, you want to film some movies there, you can come through the National African Business Association. We can help you set that up through our city government. We're talking about the lack of schools. The Inkster public schools were dissolved in 2013 by the state of Michigan. So we have a concept called the Global Education Zone, where we are fostering a new kind of a school district with international students we can bring from West Africa.
Oh, very good.
Yep. And even African kids who live here in the United States who want to come to Inkster and live in boarding homes, as well as domestic kids in the community, to give them that cross-cultural experience on what it's like to interact with, you know, young African children and things of that nature. Right. So we're working on that right now. And most importantly, the businesses, the commercial properties that are available in the city of Inkster, where people can come in and set up your restaurant, set up your any type of businesses, any type of goals that you want them to see. We have opened the door. And so the National African Business Association, we have a presence right now. This is very important. We have a presence on the Downtown Development Authority. We're in charge of creating our own downtown. Wow. We have a presence on the Economic Development Corporation, where we have the ability to create our own jobs, create our own reality in terms of economic development. We are looking to get some seats on the Cable Commission, so sisters like yourself can start being more exposed and others in there. And more importantly, the library board. Right. The library board is very important to NABA because we believe in education. So we're trying to fuse that global education component with the library and the library board and its elements, so that we can create a dynamic city that's literate, a city that understands its resources, and therefore, so we have a lot of work to do. Right, and the city of Inkster, and we are moving forward. We want to let Africans know that we are open for business. We want Africans to understand that we have power. You're not going to be able to get this type of power in Detroit or Southfield or anywhere, but in the city of Inkster, NABA has opened the door for all Africans across the state of Michigan.
Wow, and that is huge, I believe, for all of us that come here and have the dreams of owning our own business, getting into government. Again, not a lot of us are, you know, involved with policy making, and whether we like it or not, that's what runs America.
That's right.
Policies are made without you and I, you know, they're going to make them. So I think it's important for us to definitely spotlight what's going on here. What's next for NABA? You know, after this, after this phase of development, because I believe you guys are getting in, infiltrating, you know, what's next for you guys?
Well, what's next is the immediate things we're working on right now is courting Africans from the East Coast. We're courting Africans from Chicago. Okay. Those people who want to come in and invest. We understand the East Coast and even Chicago, the cost of living is very expensive. Right. We're courting them right now to say, hey, listen, come buy a house for $10,000, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, $10,000, $15,000. We immediately are trying to line up our Africans here to invest in homes and buildings for the Wayne County auction that's coming up in September. Okay. More importantly, we have Global Education Zone meetings to create that school district we're talking about every Thursday. We are working on the Cultural Arts District right there in the city of Inkster. Those meetings are going to be launching next month. We are working on, more importantly, we're working on our Community Development Corporation. Okay. We've already zoned a portion of the south side of Inkster for redevelopment, housing, social entrepreneurship, financial literacy. We already zoned that area over there for immigrants. And so we want African immigrants, create a pipeline between Africa and African immigrant and the city of Inkster through African immigration, and let them settle on the south side of Inkster to help repopulate the city. Those things are happening now.
Okay.
So that's what's next for us.
Okay, because as they happen, then they'll open the doors for everything else that we're
correct.
Hoping to happen.
The most important thing, and I believe in the next council meeting, we're supposed to, the city council meeting, there's a resolution that's going to be on the table to make Inkster an immigrant-friendly city. And what that means is African immigrant-friendly city for our people. And so that opens the door again for our people to come into it and invest.
I had a friend, I shot a film in Tennessee, and they had a sister city where it was called like an African name. It was called like a Yoruba name, I believe, Princess Fumi Hancock in Spring Hill, Tennessee. Yes. It's like a sister city to an African. Is that something that maybe could happen?
Sister cities are high on our list. Mayor Hillard Hampton, who's the present mayor of the city of Inkster, he is ready to sign the papers of making Inkster a sister city to one of the cities in Nigeria.
Okay, so are we going Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa? I can't ask you that, right? But I want, get an inside scoop for you guys. Right. I'm trying to go to bat for my people. So, what is it?
We don't know which city in Nigeria, but he's definitely. See, the mayor has been to Nigeria many times. So
yeah, so now they can make it an able thing. You know, but there's a lot of import and export in the able land. You know, I mean, or you could definitely go, you know, Yoruba.
Right.
Yoruba make you like businessmen. That's where you're from. He's Kende like him. Those are the people that make the good decisions in even though they don't let them be in government. You know. But Buhari is, you know, either way, you know, for us to be able to have a voice in Michigan is so important, especially for our young people. I believe that the one thing that, you know, Africans everywhere can recognize is the importance of family, lineage, tradition, and we're not forgetting who we are by being a part of NABA. Please tell us where people can find you, follow you guys, be a part of what you're doing, and so that they can be a part of they can keep up with what's going on and they don't miss out.
Well, you know, what? Just the quickest way is just to email us at NABA, NABA today@gmail.com, NABA today@gmail.com. They send us an email and say, hey, listen, we want to be part of NABA. We'll send you some information and we'll just go from there. The type of people we look for. You cannot sit on the fence in this organization. You have to get your hands dirty, your feet dirty. There's assignments. You get information every single week. Through our NABA, you know what I'm talking about.
I get it on Mondays. Hello, be on time, be on WhatsApp, everywhere. They're like, hey, today on NABA.
That's right.
Really
so
amazing.
We inform everyone that this is a very serious organization, it's very structured, very focused on what we're trying to do to empower our people. You know, no disrespect to the other organizations. We love them all. We know that culture is very important. But how do you connect culture with economic dollars for prosperity to leave an inheritance for our children? So that's very important. So we are on the move. In 2015, 2016, it gets even better. And so with all the people, I'm just going to be honest with you, with all the things that are going on in Inkster right now, hey, I'm not going to lie, you have the Arabs trying to invest in Inkster, you have these other groups trying to invest. Africans need a home.
Sooner we get in.
That's right. But the doors are open because we sit on these boards.
Right.
So now, since the door, and they're coming to us asking us, what should we do? We're asking you, what should we do to increase economic participation in the city of Inkster?
The voice of the people.
So the voice of the people. So NABA is at the forefront of economic development, cultural development, public policy for our people and African people in the city of Inkster. Let's make it happen. That's
what I'm talking about. I mean, I just want to say this before we go. He's introduced me. I'm playing my shows, GTV shows, which as of December, we're in the month of, we're shooting this in June, early June. And in December of 2014, I was playing one show in 250,000 homes in Michigan. As of April 2015, I'm playing 4 shows in 1 million homes in Michigan. And the guy who's actually putting me on Comcast 90 was introduced to me by the one and only Akindele Kimimi. I mean, they met with me when they first started and sat for almost an hour and a half, 2 hours and watched my movie. Angel and the Mailman, one of my best films, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with it, where I was going to go. So they're just not involved with building this town, this thing that seems so far-fetched. It's all individual development and connecting us with the right people and the right, you know, situations where we can become better, because now I'm playing on TV besides just through my films, and that's what they've done for me already. I'm not even like, you know, I'm not favorite member, I'm not, you know, all the times, but you know, he's just connected me with people he's known, and I really want to be able to use this show to create an awareness for people to know about what NABA is doing, for us to all get involved and make a change. That's right. And make Africa proud. That's right. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining us. I can do like you near me. NABA, go to the top. See you guys. Special guest Kayinsola Obayan. She said, make sure you say my name right. She doesn't know. My name is Chichi Stylxz, so you know the Yoruba mix and the this. Please welcome her to our show tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Cultural ambassador, tell us. Let me not keep this spilling. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, like she said, my name is Kayinsola Obayan, and I am a PhD student at Cornell University. I'm a PhD student in Africana Studies. Can I put Africana Studies?
Whatever you want to put.
I'm a PhD student in Africana Studies at Cornell University, and I'm very extremely passionate about we're very extremely passionate. I'm extremely passionate about Africa and how we can promote growth, sustainable growth and development on the continent, specifically in Nigeria. So that's my passion in life, and that's what I'm working towards doing. That's what I'm hoping that, you know, advanced study at an institution like Cornell helps me achieve.
Yeah, Cornell's like high level things, you know what I'm saying? There's levels to this. The ministry is moving. The ministry is moving. That's what we call it. Okay, so my biggest, you know, because we keep talking about Africa, going back home. I've been here since I was a teenager. And so the thought of actually going back home and living back home scares me for one reason: NEPA. N-E-P-A. No power, no electricity permanently available or at all. So, I mean, my concern is I don't want to go home. I'm already too Americanized. I'm chilling in my spot, you know what I'm saying? Lean back, watching TV, and all of a sudden power goes out. You know, I'm in the middle of soccer, and it's like, and he's going, he's about to get there. What happened? And then you ain't got no internet to find out from your homie on Instagram. What, you know, you just got nothing. Yeah. So is that ever gonna change the whole NEPA thing? I mean, it's not really funny, even though it is, you know, it's a joke and play with it. But is that ever gonna change? Are we ever gonna have consistent 100% power?
Well, I was there recently in 2013 and around the summertime, and it was still going on. But there was a generator to kind of curb and, you know, not make it as bad as it could be if there was no generator, which is awful.
Right.
But it does affect productivity as a whole, because people can't function at their optimal level because, you know, there's no power. And especially if you think about the world right nowadays, everything is social media, everything is technology dependent. So it's important that we have it. But in a sense, I think that it's not impossible for us to get to that point where permanent electricity will be, you know, permanent electricity will be a factor.
Available.
Be available. Thank you.
Right. There's people
I definitely think that it will be fixed if the government, private industries, and certain individuals can step up and make it a priority.
Right.
Because there's a lot of growth and development and race to move back home right now to take advantage of all these opportunities. And I think that it's inevitable in that sense.
Yeah, because they have everything we have here. They have malls. They have reality TV shows. They have all that stuff that we have here. So why can't we have power like we have here? Like, you know, and it's going to take our generation to step up and make those changes. So why is it so important for us to invest in Africa as young people?
Recently, I was just reading this article on Forbes, and the great grass prices plunging, you know, down. Everyone is getting cheap gas. I haven't seen this since in the 90s or whatever.
Right.
Everyone is just hyped up about that, but it's having an adverse effect on people like in Nigeria. The Nigerian economy is suffering because the naira is being devalued. Because
so the naira had value before?
I mean, the small value it had is going even down, further down.
I remember when I first went to London, and I heard their accents, and I was at the airport, and I was like, oh mother, when I grow up, can I change my fart so it can smell like the Glade plugin? I'm just kidding. I really remember that because the economy was so good. It was $1 for, it was a pound for a naira back then. And this is like in the, I ain't trying to tell my age, but this is like in the 80s. And we could travel and we could spend money, and it was, it was worth it. My mother was, an accountant for British Airways, so we traveled a lot, and the money was good. Yeah. And now you start talking about you're telling me it's getting worse?
It's getting worse, especially given the recent gas prices plunging down. I saw it in Forbes. Even some, billionaires, Dangote is losing money. His wealth has dropped, from the billions to like a little bit less than a billion. He's still wealthy, but But it's affecting people across the board. And if you think about it, it's affecting the people who are elite. It must be affecting the masses a lot worse,
Right.
Impacting them. But I think that is a point where we can go in and really take advantage of what is happening and diversify.
When you mean go in, I just picture myself like Christopher Columbus on a boat, and we just go in and be like, give us the oil, give us the money. We are the youth. We are the future.
No, but seriously, go in and diversify the economy so that's not only solely dependent on oil. We can build up new upcoming industries. Entertainment is okay. Telecom is also something that is booming, but we can really go in and capitalize on that. And I feel like that's important for us Africans to be at the forefront of this movement because, our family's back home. And if they have a better life, we have a better life in a sense. So
Right. That's very, very true. So my final question before we get off here, what advice can you give anyone that's interested in investing back home? you know, based on 419, 914, the numbers, you know, there's a lot of like bad business. You know, some people were really raised in a good home, and so you can't find people that we have integrity. That's like me. Oh, you too? Yeah, of course, yeah. But you know, then you have right. Not all Nigerians are like that, but you've seen the rate of the people that are online. And you can say, you know, here you can see people who have gotten duped and this. So people are like, I don't want to put my money in Nigeria. What advice would you give anyone?
Do your research. First and foremost, take your time, do your research.
Don't send money home.
Because, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities on the ground, like I said, but there's also a lot of room for, you know, scams and all these type of things.
Yeah, because people will be like, send me money first.
No.
Don't do that. Don't.
So go back home, talk to people on the ground.
Right.
That's always important.
Right.
And then talk to people who are here, who are successfully investing back home, and see how they went to do it. And I think that would be the first step and would be the necessary step to take.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us and talking about Africa and talking about investing, young people and all the things. Thank you, our budding scholar and what else can I call you? Cultural ambassador and all these big names. She's an awesome chick. I'm so proud of her. It's good to see young people who are fired up and who are following their passion, running after it and taking it over. We'll be right back after these messages.
You're watching the Late Night Show with Chichi Stylxz.
We're gonna roll out and we're gonna allow you, this is the first time I'm letting somebody come up in here in my space. Hey. Whoa. And announce and take us out with our music video for the day.
Well, stay tuned for this music video, Mama Africa from Akon.
And it's done, and this video mix is done by a lady named Fatima, and so it just spotlights a little bit about some beautiful African women and beautiful African scenario. Enjoy, we'll see you next time, and invest in Africa and in yourself.
The balance of power is shifting from America to Africa.
Under the influence of a crack cocaine, you shot your son. Tell us a little bit about that. Get that hourglass figure without you ever spending a dime.